our Modelo gold standard stat. He's one of the best young players in the game. First 2 seasons, averaged 6 points a game. His three-point shot pretty much didn't exist. This year, he averages nearly 17 a game. His jumper's better. He can distribute the ball. Everything on the up and up, Chauncey. What kind of jump have you seen this guy make?
You know, it's been unbelievable. I mean, really, I can't remember. I'll have to ask the guys a little later if we've seen a jump quite like this. And first of all, we have to give Masai and his team some credit for finding a diamond in the rough. But he's improved every aspect of his game. You look at him right there, he drives, closeouts, you put a big guy on him. Look what he does to Embiid right here in a one-on-one isolation situation. Left-hand finish. We know he's become a dependable three-point shooter. I mean, put a smaller guy on him, he finishes. Defensively, we know he competes on that end. Goes the length of the floor, handles the ball very, very well. Beads, I mean, there's nothing that he really can't do at this point, and that motor. That's what a lot of people say when you talk about Pascal Siakam is that motor. He never stops competing. He never stops playing, and he's gone from 6th or 7th man on the team to the second best player on a very good team, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch him, he went from a very serviceable role player to now you look at him as possibly being an all-star in this league. I mean, he has all the tool sets. From what I see, he seems like he has the work ethic because you don't take this jump. As a matter of fact, this is not a jump. He took a super leap,
right?
You know, from one year to the next. And, you know, being the case, if Kawhi Leonard leaves, he moves into that number 1 position offensively on both ends. He can do it on both ends of the ball. And I can see him really turning himself into an all-star as soon as next year.
So Jay-Z shut the game down this week because he had a show in New York City, brought out the Dipset, he brought out Nas, and it was a feature, and they played homage to the B-sides. That's what you are when you're a most improved player. He's not a headliner like Kawhi or an Embiid, or when I won most improved, it was a Shaq and Reggie and Kobe, but you need his productivity still if you're going to reach your goals. And for him to now take that leap and surpass Kyle Lowry as the second best player is giving them a legitimate chance to have depth and possibly win the East.
Speaking of Jay-Z, how about that verse he spit?
That's why I had to bring it up.
Nip, man, that was unbelievable.
Bars.
Woo.
I'll just say, listen to you guys talk about this.
The GOAT. All right, let's get back to basketball.
Is that music? Our coverage of the NBA playoff roll. This is sports, right? You have bad seasons, then you get great draft picks, and hopefully if you do everything right, it leads to championships and banners. That being said, Philadelphia actually marketed their process. So has it actually worked?
I think it's worked because they're relevant. And they are one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. They have a legitimate chance to win the conference this year. They have an all-NBA player, Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons is going to continue to be a perennial all-star. I think they retain Tobias Harris. They write a big check. And I think that's a good core moving forward, especially if they have J.J. Redick as a shooter.
I think it's working.
Okay.
They've done a good job of, like Jalen said, assembling some great talent. They got some cornerstone pieces for the franchise, which was the reason why you lost so much. It's working, but until you win it,
right,
it's yet to be seen.
That seems fair.
I mean, the best thing you can do is put yourself in position to be a contender for a long time. And I think that's what Philadelphia has done. When you get 2 marquee franchise guys and Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, then you add the pieces around them. Moving forward, they got a key free agents this summer. Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, just to name a couple. Even if those guys left. Even if those guys left, they still have their core pieces in place.
No.
That's something you can't say about a lot of teams in the East. In the East, you talk about Toronto. If Kawhi leaves, their process is probably done. In Boston, if Kyrie leaves, who knows? They still have some young process.
No, we've seen them do without him.
If these 2 dudes leave, Paul.
No, I'm saying Embiid and Ben Simmons are there to stay.
Yes, that's not enough. That's not enough.
The process still continues because you still have two franchise guys that you can still build around that free agents are going to want to come play for.
I think you've lowered the bar on your franchise thing just a little bit. Joel Embiid belongs in that category, but he has a real injury history that you have to be concerned with. He even missed playoff games last year as well. Ben Simmons, We know he got to get a jump shot, P. He got to at least attempt a shot outside of 15 feet to be considered an elite player. And with those two circumstances going on with your two best players, this is why you definitely need a Tobias or Jimmy to be a rock for the regular season and or times that Joel may be out.
Chauncey, time to shine, buddy. So Toronto, obviously, game one. Oi, if you're Philly. And then Philly figured something out. Will those adjustments stick, and can they continue to work?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the playoffs. You know, every game is different, and you start to make adjustments. Game 2, Philly did a terrific job of not only playing harder, but we'll show you some of the adjustments they made. In Game 1, for some strange reason, they played Kawhi straight up.
Because he's taller than him.
And he got 45 that night. But Tobias, he did a good job, but this is a tall order. They leave a man on an island. I mean, you can't leave a great player on an island like that. Game 2, even though this guy still got 35, it didn't impact him that much, but impacted everybody else. Now, you look at the physicality. You look at Greg Monroe comes over right away, hands high. Watch the rest of the play. The Sixers continue to play, not just with the double team. They block a corner three-point shot, Ben Simmons did. That's the kind of physicality they played with. Game 1, the pick and rolls with Kawhi. They allowed him to get to his spot. You can't allow a great player, look at Embiid right here, in a drop. He just doesn't want to give up a layup. But guess what? That is a layup for Kawhi Leonard. You let him get to his favorite spot. In Game 2, watch Joel Embiid on this play. He's coming off going right like he wants to. Embiid is all the way up past the three-point line. Now, great players find a way to get out of that trap, but he's still playing in a crowd. 3 people paying attention to him. And watch what he gets here. A pass to a guy that's not on target. It's not shot ready. And Jimmy Butler. Game 2, Jimmy Butler took it into his own hands. After taking that 45 in Game 1, he said, you know what? It ain't going down like that. He took it into his own hands, got 30 himself. He's a guy that's going to have to be big, but the prior 3 games, Jimmy had 30 combined. In the last game, he had a terrific game, got 30. They're going to need him to be very, very aggressive in this game because I think they feed off of his mantra, his toughness. I really do.
5. Look, all of that being said and the adjustments being made, and it worked. However, Kawhi still had 35 points. Do we underrate his offensive game?
I don't underrate Kawhi Leonard at all. For those that play video games, and I did a lot growing up, watching Kawhi is like playing against a computer. It seems like they never make mistakes. He doesn't waste energy. He's not emotionally intoxicated ever. And it seemed like everything is so very efficient that when you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay from 3, make you pay mid-range, make you pay on the post. And then he'll lock down on defense, fighting through screens and everything.
You know, I've watched Kawhi the last couple of years, and especially this year, he does remind me a lot of myself offensively.
Hold up, no.
No, seriously.
No,
seriously.
no. Did you just compare yourself to Kawhi Leonard? Hold on. Cue the music, please.
Reminds me of myself offensively.
Dirty, nasty, true.
I could probably get a layup versus the Lakers right now.
Whoa.
Oh, I had them broad shoulders. That's why I could just put the shoulder in you. And DeMar reminds me a lot of myself. You see all these kids doing a step back, it's because I pioneered.
Oh, my. So you created the step back?
Oh, I just made it famous.
Famous. All right, Paul, Kawhi Leonard having a career year. It's his 8th season, just under 27 points a game. Your career high was in your 8th season, just under 27 points a game. In the postseason, your scoring average is very, very close. 17.6 for Kawhi. You were 18.7. You both have been Finals MVPs. When it's all said and done, Truth, who will have had the better career?
I'm going to be honest here.
Oh, God.
That's nice. That would be good.
I'm going to be honest here.
Be a nice change.
You know, he was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and the game is really coming easy, and he's accomplished so much in just a short period of time. We'll give it up to Kawhi. Give it up to Kawhi. I mean,
I'm proud of you.
No, seriously. Like, I mean, I'll never be the defender. I've never been the defender he was. He's going to be a constant face on Defensive Player of the Year every single year, but when I see his offense, and like I said, he does a lot of things that I used to do offensively, and the way he gets to the spot, he makes the game look easy.
He made that
mid-range, posting up.
I'm proud of you, Paul.
This is a moment for you, dude.
I mean, right now, he's arguably the best player in the game. I mean, when you watch what he's doing in the playoffs, averaging 40 points, and he has so many more years to go.
Guys,
Hall of Fame humility.
He's not going to get the endorsements. He's not.
Imagine if he had your loud mouth, but his skills.
He would be MVP then, because he can market himself.
I'm proud of you, man.
No, seriously, man. Kawhi, he's that guy. He's that guy. I know. He can go down possibly as the best two-way player to ever live, to ever play the game. And I'm truth speaking truth.
You know it's something that's valid when both of you are like,
Just letting him cook.
all right. Saturday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC.